What's going on, locals and Rumble? Sorry, I'm distracted right now. The lawyer wife just walked in, and you see, is that Piopi? Piopi's tail waving right meow. Let's go to me, because that. Oh, here comes Kunu with the present. What's going on? What's going on, Keith? Revenger.
Did you get locked out? Did Daddy lock you out?
Yes, if you are a locals member, we do have a live chat going on, so participate in that so I can more easily spot you. Yeah, let's go ahead and muster up really quick what you munching on, where you coming from, what you sipping on. Cheerios.
Did Daddy knock you out? Good bet you
Yeah, I need to talk about that actually. I had to lock them out.
I think you can get in from the other side.
So, per our discussion last live episode, we have the doggo cam up on top of the bookshelf, but Peeps likes to lay behind the desk. So I had to gate him out for this one. It was a genius idea. So here, show him this baby gate.
Where is it?
The camera's up there.
Shake.
Okay. So I put that up.
Oh, you don't like this. I know.
They have to go this way because I put. Go this way, Kunu Bear.
Oh,
It's a zoo in here.
come here, babies.
Watch out, buddy. Nope.
You shouldn't have moved it, Kevin. That's your bad.
All right, so I put this up so Peeps couldn't sneak around and lay behind me, and he'll stay on camera this way. But he's smarter than I am because as soon as I put it up, I turn around and he went the other way behind the desk, which I didn't even think about. So I had to put additional gate up on that side.
Obviously, stay there.
Yeah, shepherds are smarter than I am.
There? Hey, you want to come play with mamas? Hello, friend.
All right, so let's get to the show.
All right, we'll go to work.
Okay, see, or if you want to watch this landing later, it's gonna be on land. It'll be in about like 15 minutes or so.
All right, well,
I'll text you.
I won't start working in yet.
Okay. Okay.
Don't forget to text me.
So let's talk about the launch. Good question there, Rotor. Go to spacex.com/launches, transition. Scroll on down. This is the Transporter 3 mission. This is a rideshare mission. Transporter 3 because it is SpaceX's third rideshare mission, which just means they're taking a bunch of different customers' payloads like satellites, nanosatellites, CubeSats, and they're deploying them all in one go. That saves the customers money. Makes sense, right? So you scroll down, you get the little synopsis here. The launch is scheduled for 10:25 a.m. Eastern Time or 15:25 UTC. There is a 29-minute launch window. Okay, so they have about a half hour to launch it on time. We'll see how the weather looks once they start their live stream. A backup opportunity is available for tomorrow with the same time. Now, this booster, it's the 10th mission for this booster. So it'll be the 10th flight for this booster, which isn't a record. It is the original number that SpaceX was aiming for when they basically started the Falcon program. They wanted to get 10 reuses out of the booster to really get their money's worth from them. However, they have since made it to 11. So this isn't a record-breaking booster. However, it's still pushing the envelope. So number 10, it previously flew on like Bob and Doug's mission, Demo 2, and some others. So there are 105 spacecraft on this vehicle. Now, if you've never seen one of these, it's pretty cool to watch them deploy, especially if you like record it and do a time lapse, which I will include in tomorrow's SpaceX in the News episode. And they'll just launch them back and forth. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat putting all that space litter out there. Keep going to get a little diagram. So since this is going to be a landing at landing zone 1 and not a drone ship like we're used to, these have become a rarity, but it's always awesome to watch. So we'll do the launch, but then we'll do, after stage separation, the booster will do what they call a boost back burn because it has to make its way back to the coast. But as you can see, it's not like it has to go way back. But it does need to do some sort of retro burn to get itself back toward the coast. And then it'll also do the normal entry burn and then the landing burn. Now, since this is on the coast, we should be able to see this entire landing uninterrupted. So I'm going to text the lawyer wife when we get closer. She can come up here and be amazed like all of us will be, no doubt. Okay. Now here's the timeline of events. If you keep on cruising, cruiser, we'll have launch, go through max Q, which we'll talk about during the live stream. They'll start deploying about an hour after liftoff. Let's see if we can get the exact time here. Yeah, the Unicorn 2E deploys at 59 minutes and 38 seconds post liftoff. Now, since this is a Thursday, I have plenty to do for my episode tomorrow, so I'll be cutting this one short, which sucks because I really enjoy watching all these deploy. However, I'll remind you that there is a, get out of here, you freaking gnat. There is a link in the description below that will take you directly to SpaceX's webcast, because we are going to have to cut this one short so I can get tomorrow's work done. Okay. SpaceX has started their screensaver, so it looks like we're still on for this. Awesome. Yes, Rotorbud 10th is unbelievable. It's crazy. We are living in the future. This is why I like wearing this disruptor shirt, because the Falcon 9 has disrupted. Get out of here, you freaking mic. The Falcon 9 has disrupted the space industry and upped everyone's bar in order to be competitive. Keith is drinking coffee. Lots and lots of cafe. Any Starlink piggyback? I did not see that on this. Let me just double check because I don't want to steer you wrong. I didn't see that there were any Starlink writing on this one. At least I haven't heard. So I'd have to go with no, not for this one, unless they say differently during the live stream. Good questiones. Kick the tires and light the fire. So if you're watching on Rumble, there is this box on the right-hand side of your screen called Rumble Rants. If you're on your app on your phone, I'm not sure if they have it on there, not or yet, but keep in mind, Rumble is always improving. It just takes time like everything else. So if you have any suggestions, make sure you chat them, okay? Because I know the guys at Rumble do watch our live streams and our videos. So give them any helpful hints that they can definitely consider to help better their platform. Hopefully one day outpacing YouTube. That would be awesome. I'm keeping an eye on social media and everything. Make sure we're still green for this mission. We're at like T-minus 15 minutes. Let's go back to so many windows to control here. All right, T-minus 15 minutes. So we got second stage liquid oxygen loading underway. Okay. At T-minus 7 minutes, Falcon 9 begins engine chill prior to launch. They need to do that because a lot of really cold fluids flow through the engine before they're ignited. You don't want to crack anything now, do you? It's kind of like warming up your car, right? You don't just want to start your car and then just drive it on first gear, max out the RPMs like yours truly. At T-minus 1 minute, then the Falcon 9's computer basically takes over and it's hands off from there for the most part. Rumble had stability issues on iOS early on, but much better meow. Yeah, totally. If you've been on Rumble for a while, we joined Rumble like a year and a half ago. They've definitely improved the website a ton. I can't wait to see how they're operating a year from now. Justin, things are still a go. Thanks for tuning in, Justin. So our next live stream, SpaceX is supposed to have like 5 launches this month. This is the second one. We'll see if it actually happens. We got a couple Starlink coming up. That will probably be the next launch. But whatever it is, we'll head back to YouTube for that. We're going to be alternating these a lot for the year. We're going to see how it goes. It's a business decision I got to make because I want to support Rumble as much as possible. At the same time, I want to keep my business alive. So it all depends on how these Rumble live streams go. Okay. But we'll definitely be going back and forth. I forgot to turn on that light. No wonder why there's a huge shadow behind me and I'm not as bright. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix that. There we go. What you looking at, peeps? Haha, peeps. What you doing, peepers? Here we go. SpaceX is starting their live stream now. Whoosh. So we got a busy day today. At least I do, and those of you on locals do. We got this live stream, and then as of right now, Virgin Orbit is still slated to launch their Launcher 1 rocket today at like 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll be live streaming that exclusively on locals. We're going to try our first live local stream. So that'll be fun. Then, of course, like I said earlier, I got to prep for tomorrow's episode, which usually takes all day anyway. So it's going to be a late night for moi. Let's turn the volume up. Okay.
13th, and we're here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. You're looking at a live view of the Falcon 9 as it awaits its 10:25 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. My name is Kate Tice, and I'm a Reliability Engineering Manager here at SpaceX. Welcome to the webcast for SpaceX's Transporter 3 mission, our third dedicated smallsat rideshare program launch, and our second launch of 2022. With today's flight, Falcon 9 will deliver 105 spacecraft, including microsats, CubeSats, pocket cubes, and orbital transfer vehicles to sun-synchronous orbit. There will be a total of 82 deployments, which will begin around the T+1 hour mark and last for approximately 30 minutes. Now, due to the lack of ground station coverage at times and the position of our camera, we only expect a handful of our deployments to be visible today. However, we do expect to have telemetry and hear audio confirmation over the nets when in range of ground stations. To see the full list of today's deployments, head on over to spacex.com. With liftoff in just over 8 minutes from now, let's take a look to get acquainted with the rocket on your screen. Our two-stage launch vehicle stands about 70 meters tall when fully.
She's a big girl. I'm talking about the rocket. Kate's awesome, to clarify. So the first thing you'll notice, one of the first things you'll notice while looking at this rocket is it is smoking. Oh, smoking. That's just the really cold fuel propellant being loaded onto the rocket. And as it kind of condenses, it meets with the with the atmosphere of that warm Florida air. But also they need to vent it from time to time as well. If they don't do that, the tanks will pop, and that's not a good thing. Right now, they just switched to a cam at landing zone 1. This is where the booster will come back for a landing, and this may be one of the cameras they switch to during said landing, which will be a sight to see. It always is. Now, keep in mind, she just said that this rocket's 70 meters tall, okay? That's huge. So these things look a lot bigger in person than they do on screen. Keep in mind, it's nuts. The other thing you might notice is that the booster looks pretty sooty. It's a sooty booster. She's a dirty girl. That's because this is her 10th flight. She's flown 9 previous times, and during the re-entry in the atmosphere and the landing burn, and but mostly the re-entry in the atmosphere, you have a lot of, and you'll see this during the live stream, like a lot of sparks and debris coming off the rocket, hitting that first stage booster during re-entry. Isn't that right, puppy? That's correct. Awesome. Here we got a view of the fairing. It's divided into 2 halves. Now, after stage SEP, those fairings will deploy. They'll split in 2, and they'll make their way back into the atmosphere. They'll fall back to Earth, and they'll deploy chutes, brah. They're ram air style parachutes, like a huge skydiving parachute, and they'll steer those back to. Actually, I don't know if they're still active or passive anymore. They used to be active steering, so they would steer back to a fairing catching ship that they don't do anymore. So they might be passive now. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Passive would just mean they don't steer themselves, and then they splash down under canopy in the Atlantic, and then they get scooped out by Bob or Doug, the fairing recovery ships. Looks kind of pixelated today, a little fuzzy. What's up with that, SpaceX? This isn't a NASA stream. All right, let me get to the Rumble chat. Let me catch up on that. What's going on, chat? Thanks for tuning in today. Winds are a bit high. Anybody watching this from Florida? Has the SpaceX logo changed recently? Not that I know of. It still should look somewhat like this, according to their screensaver, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not very observant. GameCube for Life is back. Hello, what's going on, bro? Long time no see. Kev, can you tell us the difference between the two pads SpaceX uses in Florida? Are you talking? What's up, Eric? Are you talking about the launch pads? So we have pad 39A and we have Slick 40, which is what you're seeing right now on your screen. And the biggest difference that I'm aware of is that pad 39A is used to launch crew. It can be used to launch other things too, but mainly, you see a bigger black tower. It's because they use it to launch crew members. Also Falcon Heavy. So if we're going to have people go to space, like on Dragon, they'll use pad 39A because it's also the pad where they launched Apollo. So it's a very, very historically notable pad. It's a landmark for show. You can see the strong back starting to retract. Well, not retract, but open up its little grappling hooks there. Its claw. All right. And it'll retract a little bit. I think it's like 20 degrees or so, and then it'll retract even further upon liftoff. And that little tower just helps provide stability and feed the rocket. Feed the rocket its fuel and electricity until liftoff, which will be in about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So yeah, Falcon Heavy launches from pad 39A. Soon Starship will launch from over that way. And then Crew as well. There we go. We got some retracto action going on. Good questions, Eric. There is a landing zone 1 and a landing zone 2 pad as well. The reason they have two of those is because Falcon Heavy, which has 2 side boosters strapped to it, those can also both land on the coast, and they have before a couple times, I believe. But the center stage usually lands out on a drone ship. The 2 side boosters can land on the drone ships as well, but they would need 3 for that then. But normally, they land back at the coast. That's why they have 2 landing pads. What's going on in Bartow, Florida? Bartow. Orlando, 60 miles away. I know Orlando pretty well because LW is crazy for Disney World. I think her dad's there right now, actually. Have any boosters flown more than 10 times? Yes, 11 is the current record. So this isn't a record, but it's still an impressive number. SpaceX engineers have told me in the past that whenever they're pushing the envelope, whenever they're going for a record, it always makes them nervous because, that's new territory, man. Who knows what's going to hold up and what's going to fail because you're plowing new ground. What's going on, England? What's going on, England? See if the doggos are excited for this. You excited, doggos? We're at the 2-minute warning. Get excited, pups. This is a great idea I had, putting up the baby gates so they can't hide behind the desk. It's much cheaper than buying a wireless camera. It seems to be 45 seconds ahead of you for this launch. All right, well, I'll try refreshing. We'll see if that helps. That might just be on Rumble's end. Again, another thing that they can improve, make the live stream more live. 45 seconds isn't bad, though. Wrong cup. That's my backup cup. In case one of the doggos knocks my main mug off the desk, which has happened before. Those tails can go crazy. Tails gone wild, man. SpaceX keeps sending us candles when I'm in bed, or keeps sending up candles when I'm in bed. UK. Any idea who is booking slots on first Starship flights? Actually, I know who's booking the first Starship flights, and that is SpaceX with their Starlink missions. Starlink will be the first actual payloads to go on Starship. Elon always likes to put up or take up funny or different kinds of payloads on the first launch, the test launch. Like for Falcon Heavy, they did his Tesla Roadster. And for Falcon, they did a wheel of cheese. So who knows what Starship's first unofficial payload will be, their fun payload, but their first official customer payload will be their own Starlink. And then after that, if you're referring to humans, it will probably be the Dear Moon and MZ from Japan. He's already helped fund plenty of the Starship program. So that would be my guess. All right, we're going to turn the volume up now. We're at T-minus 25 seconds to liftoff. Let's do this thing. Let's go, SpaceX.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
Gear pressures are nominal.
We need to listen to some rock music sometime while one of these are launching. Need some heavy metal going on. SpaceX stream is a full minute ahead of mine. So what you're seeing now on your screen for me is live. This is live for me. However, Rumble's stream must be a minute behind. So you're watching me right now a minute behind what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. But what I'm watching is live.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower, lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We just heard the call out that the vehicle is supersonic. We're currently going to throttle down the engines in preparation for max Q coming up.
Max Q.
Oh, there we heard it. So that was the moment of greatest aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will experience in flight today. Everything looking nominal with stage 1 trajectory. Now we have 5 events coming up in quick succession. MECO, or main engine cutoff, stage separation, stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, and the boost back burn. And you can follow along with those events there on the timeline at the bottom of your screen.
Okay, and we've gone over that. So I'm going to have more questions to answer here. Any ideas on how many engines this booster has had changed out? This particular booster, no, but I do know that swapping out engines is a very rare thing for SpaceX. They try just to clean them and refurbish them a little bit, but mostly it doesn't require anything like that because that takes a lot of time and effort, and that's not what SpaceX is trying to go for with reusability. The less they have to do, the better. So although they have had to change out engines from time to time, it's something we've always heard about. So here comes stage separation. This is a camera inside the inner stage, which is between that black part you see and the fairings up top. What's actually the black part, that white part is the second stage, but that's a great view. We don't get to see that view too many times from the ground, stage separation from the ground. That's awesome.
Stage 1 boost back startup.
Those poofs of white gas you see, those are those were cool gas thrusters to help orient the rocket, the booster.
Second stage MVAC engine has ignited. The first stage on the left-hand side is performing the boost back, which, as you saw just moments ago, the first stage flipped itself over and is now making its way back to the coast of Florida. Everything looking nominal with second stage trajectory there on the right-hand side of your screen.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
All right, so there we heard the call out that the boost back burn has concluded. That was the first of 3 burns that the first stage will perform today. And we can see the grid fins beginning to deploy.
Yeah, so these are the grid fins made of titanium. Those help steer the rocket once it's in the atmosphere. That gas you see right there coming off, that's what I was referring to earlier. The cold gas thrusters help push. It's like Wall-E using a fire extinguisher in space, using the the gas to push the rocket and steer it in the right direction. On the right-hand side of your screen, you just saw those nose cone fairing halves deploy. Those will, like we said earlier, splash down under canopy in the ocean and be recovered. Those are $6 million, $3 million a piece. So that's why Elon wants to recover them, save as much money as possible. And on the right-hand side of your screen, you see that Merlin vacuum engine continuing to push the second stage into an orbit. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side of your screen, you got the Florida coastline there. You see Disney World from there. It will come in for a landing. We got our boost back burn. Looks like it's complete. We'll have a re-entry burn coming up. You see at the bottom of your screen it says entry. That's what that is. That's the camera inside the inner stage on the left-hand side. It's that black part at the top of the booster. The engine goes there. The second stage engine you see on the right-hand side of your screen during liftoff, that's where the engine rests. Got to create a space for it, a safe space. Look at them clouds. They look like Kerbal clouds. Not very poofy today. Excellent view of the coast. I'm actually happy there's not too many clouds. Love that view. But we still want some clouds. It gives us a nice perspective of how high we are. If you've ever been skydiving before, if you jump from 10,000 to like 14,000, usually it's like 13,000 feet you jump from. It's pretty cool. When you jump out of the plane, you never know how high up you are or how far you're falling, or if you're falling at all. It looks kind of like it feels like you're just flying in a storm. It's really windy. It's so windy that the air goes up your nose and helps you breathe. But once you get to about 5,000 feet AGL above ground level, then you start noticing the ground really starting to rush toward you. And you're like, I'm going to pull my chute now because I don't want to die. And then the chute saves you. Science saves you. Physics. It's fun.
On the left-hand side of your screen, we can see those grid fins have deployed. Falcon 9 has 4 hypersonic grid fins positioned at the base of the inner stage, and they orient the rocket during reentry by moving the center of pressure. We can also see some white puffs of gas coming off from Falcon 9. Those are cold nitrogen gas, which help with attitude control. After first stage landing, the second stage will cut off its MVAC engine and relight it approximately 45 minutes
I gotta
later
text Carrie.
for deployment of all 105 spacecraft.
Hurry, Carrie. I don't have time to text you.
As for first stage,
Sorry if
its
you're now
next
deaf.
event is the entry burn.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
You can
And
just
there on
leave
your
it.
screen, we
It's
can
over
see
here.
that entry burn has begun.
Bye.
No doggy.
Once again, this burn is designed to slow the booster down as it
you want an earbud?
returns through the dense part of the atmosphere.
Stage 2 on nominal trajectory.
Get closer.
You're violating my space.
As we just heard there,
Stage
everything,
1 entry burn shutdown.
everything continuing to look good with second stage.
Nomino.
As I mentioned earlier, we'll be attempting to recover this booster
Very coming
for
in
the
hot.
10th time today, and we're targeting a land landing at landing zone 1. The first stage has
Yep.
just one more burn left, the
Stage
landing
1.
burn.
I bet your dad can't see it. I told him he's in
It
Disney
begins
World right
just
now.
before touchdown and provides the booster a soft descent before landing. About the same time that Falcon lands, we are expecting SECO, or second engine cutoff, one of our
It's
second
not.
stage.
It's on the coast. It won't cut out.
Just a few seconds away from landing,
Stage
and
1 is transonic.
vehicles traveling around 900 miles per hour really puts the deceleration into perspective. In the span of less than a minute, we'll have reduced from
Oh,
twice
what
the
a view on the
twice
right-hand
speed of
side
your jet,
there.
Stage 1 landing burn.
all the way down to 0 as the rocket lands.
I miss these so much. These are awesome.
There's a view on the right-hand side
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
Looks like it's coming in
of the
hot.
landing, back at landing
Oh,
zone
there's
1.
that sonic boom. Yes. Give it to
Stage
me.
1 landing leg deploy.
Isn't that awesome?
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
As you heard from the call out there and from the cheers
pretty cool.
behind me, we have successfully landed
yeah.
this Falcon 9 for the 10th time.
This is on YouTube. It's on Rumble.
Oh, well, I
It's
need
also
to
the
pull from
102nd recovery of an orbital class
Oh.
rocket.
It's not my birthday.
Monday.
Nominal parking orbit.
Okay, bye.
All right, so we just heard
Best
there,
parking
second
job I've
stage,
ever seen.
Had a good orbit, so we cut off or shut down the MVAC engine on the second stage, and as we just heard, we had good orbit. So we're now going to coast for the next 45 minutes or so while we wait for second engine start 2, or SES2. We'll see you back here at around T plus 55 minutes.
Sweet. All right. So that was really cool. I miss watching those coastal landings, man. It's really awesome. The only thing that beats it is Falcon Heavy when you have 2 boosters landing at once. And the only thing that will beat that will be Starship's booster landing when it gets caught by the tower. Same with Starship itself eventually. So we're going to wrap it up there for this one, you guys. Again, today's Thursday, so I spend my Thursdays prepping for tomorrow's SpaceX in the News episode. So if you want to continue watching SpaceX's live stream, there's a link in the description below this video. It'll take you to this live stream. All right, in about 50 minutes, they'll start deploying these 105 satellites. Not all at once, but they'll do them over like a half hour time. If you don't have time to watch it, then make sure you watch SpaceX in the News for tomorrow, because I will capture the time lapse and speed through them. Okay. Again, link in the description to take you directly to this video you're watching right here. What else? Oh, and if you're a Locals member, we will be covering Virgin Orbit's launch this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Last I checked, which was right before the stream started, they were still a go for later today. So we'll do that as a Locals exclusive live stream. So if you want to join us there on Rumble, just look at the top of your screen. You'll see a Join Locals button. Click on that, and you are more than welcome to join us for that. But I'm going to wrap it up here, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with me here on Rumble. I appreciate you. And until tomorrow's episode, Godspeed. Outro commence.